everybody. Welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you know how we do it over here. We do our shout outs first. So I'm going to run that beautiful bean footage. All right, y'all, I want to give a quick shout out to all the wonderful readers who decided to come through and support the channel. And first up is Hilda T. Yes, Hilda T is the best. She is. She is so kind and so sweet and so faithful. She is. She will hold you down. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Hilda T. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being a part of this community. And Patricia Nixon came through. Yes, my girl Patricia came through. She is so smart and so sweet and so kind. She is always coming through. She's always supporting. And so I am so grateful to have her as a part of this tribe. So thank you, Patricia. Thank you for coming through. And my guy Kevon Slims came through. Yes, Kevon is the best. He is. He will hold you down too. I'm telling you, he is always there, 10 toes down, supporting the channel. And I appreciate him so very much. So thank you, Kevon. Thank you for the super thanks. But most of all, thank you for being a part of this tribe. And Tiger Mommy came through. Yes, Tiger Mommy is everything, and she knows she's everything. And she is everything to this tribe. She is always supporting, always 10 toes down, always a ride or die. She is everything, and I am so thankful and so grateful for her. Thank you, Tiger Mommy. And my girl, the coolest of them all. Yes, cool Cat Harlem. Cat came through. She is so kind, so faithful, so wonderful, and so cool. Yes, Cat is so cool and so wise. And she is such a huge part of this community. So thank you, Kat. Thank you for coming through again. You always come through to support, and it means everything. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, we got a lot to talk about. We do. And first, we're going to talk about the Invictus games. Yes, it looks like we have an announcement. We do, of the next country who is going to host the Invictus games. And I must say, I am over the moon about who was chosen. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about Invictus securing a very huge sponsor in Range Rover. Yes, Range Rover is coming back, and they are going to help deliver the games. Yes, you know, it was so much talk about how Invictus was just in so much financial trouble. Well, I want to say to them, that was a lie, because one of the biggest sponsors of Invictus is coming back for another year. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about Prince Harry. He was on the James Corden show, yes, after the World Cup. And let me tell you, he was so delightful and so smart and insightful. You know, they always try to say that Harry is thick, he's stupid, he's dumb. Harry is none of that. And every time he opens his mouth or he does something on the world stage, it dispels that. It disproves that. Harry is very smart, very capable, and very intelligent. And he proves that every time he has a mic in his hand and a camera on him. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Kitty. And the reason we're going to talk about Kitty, it looks like we have finally got some hard numbers on how much she raised with her fake 3P challenge. Yes. And she tried to hide them. Now, that's not coming from Squatties. That's coming straight from the Daily Mail. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about Hello Magazine again, up to their shenanigans, trying to be a part of the smear campaign that we have always known them to be. But, they try to fake. They try to be fakers and try to every now and then say something positive and pretend like they are not who they are. But we all see you. We see you, Hello Magazine. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about something that kind of slipped past us. But you know me, I'll be up there digging and listening to whatever the squatties are saying. And one squatty said something very interesting, and we missed it. So we're going to talk about that too, because it will show you that Kitty is on another level of obsession when it comes to Megan. That woman is sick in the mind. Her and Willie are both very, very sick people, and it is really, really starting to show. I mean, it's out there for everyone to see. So we're going to talk about that. And we have some other things I got sprinkled in there. Yes, I do. Y'all always know that I always have other stuff we're going to chit chat about. But what y'all need to do, y'all need to lock in and understand. I'm not going to keep you long, but I will keep you entertained. So let's start with this. And the announcement has been made. Invictus 2029. The host nation is the Republic of Korea. Yay! Yay! Yes, Invictus has announced that the Republic of South Korea will be hosting the 2029 Invictus Games. It says, I am coming to the Republic of Korea. The Invictus Games Foundation is delighted to announce that Daejeon, Republic of Korea, has been selected to host the Invictus Games in 2029. And this squad reposted Invictus' announcement and said, huge congratulations to South Korea on winning the Invictus Games bid for hosting the 2029 Games. This is going to be epic. It is. I'm so excited, y'all. Finally, we get a place where we can have some peace. Because if it had been held in America, no peace there. And we all know how it's going in the UK. So to have it hosted by South Korea is going to be such a relaxing and wonderful, and like this squatty said, an epic, epic event. So I'm excited. Y'all tell me what you think in the comments. I am over the moon. And this right here happened. Y'all know those flying monkeys have been putting it out that somehow Invictus was in financial trouble and they didn't have sponsors and all kinds of bullshit like that. Well, one of their biggest sponsors has signed on for another year. And Zanny Sussex posted about it. As you can see, it says Range Rover Defender Discovery. Defender extended Invictus Games backing ahead of the Birmingham 2027 event. And Zanny read the article, I assume, and this is what she said. She said, "This is fantastic news. Defender, the Jaguar Land Rover brand, has extended its support for the Invictus Games and will be the official automotive partner of Birmingham 2027, as well as the presenting partner of the wheelchair rugby." Oh, I cannot wait. It says the brand will also provide volunteers to help deliver the games in Birmingham, its design and engineering heartland. This is so exciting and such good news. And all those flying monkeys can put that lie to bed that they have been out here peddling that somehow Invictus was in financial straits. When you are pulling in huge companies like Land Rover Jaguar, you are right. And not only are they going to be a sponsor, they are going to provide people to help with the games. They are all in. I must say, if it wasn't for the fact that those flying monkeys and that family was in the UK, this would be such a epic Invictus Games because Invictus just keeps on growing. I'm telling you, it is like a train going downhill. It just keeps on picking up steam. It does. I love this for Harry. I do. This is such great news. And more great news for Harry. Yes, Harry was on the James Corden show. Yes, his show is called After Hours with James Corden. And Harry was on there last night after the FIFA World Cup final match. Yes, Harry was on there, and let me tell you, he shined really, really bright. Harry is so smart and so insightful, and he just has it. He does. And it is effortless for him. He doesn't have to try hard to be entertaining or be engaging or just being interesting. Harry just has that shine. He is a very bright, burning star. And I know it gets on the nerves of those left behinds over there, but Harry is who he is. This is just who he is. And people are drawn to it because he is so natural, he is so real, and he is just so appealing. And Chris Byron Smith, he posted about this. He said Prince Harry on FIFA World Cup on Fox After Hours with James Corden. And look at Harry coming down the stairs, looking good. He is back to himself. And this squatty posted about it and said, James Corden asked Prince Harry, what would it take, do you think, for England to get to the finals? Asked him, the Duke of Sussex replied, pointing at another guy next to James and giggling. And then Harry proceeded to give a well-informed football commentary. All I could see was how beautiful he looked. He looks, I mean, yeah, he does look good. He looks so much better when he's in America. I know some people in the comments might disagree with me, but he didn't look so good when he was in the UK. To me, he looked very stressed and under a lot of strain. And now he looks very relaxed. He looks like our prince. But I am going to play this soundbite of Harry answering the question that James Corden asked him, and we'll talk on the other side.
What would it take, do you think, for England to get to a final?
Ask him. No one wants to hear my answer.
Yeah. What do you think? What does it take?
Be very careful what I say here. What's it going to take? I think it's a mindset. I think what we saw. He knows.
He's right. We've been saying this all day. Yeah, go on.
I think that I think that what we saw was a slight shock value for the team. Shit, we're 1-0 up against Argentina, and then there was this immediate temptation to fall into defense. I don't think it was a tactic. I don't think that was the plan. It just happened. And you can't, in 75, was it 72, 73 minutes, however long it was, try to defend a 1-0 lead against a team like that. You just can't. So I think if the mindset is the belief, is the fact that if you are 1-0 up, believe that you can be 2-0 up.
You need to come on my podcast and do this with me. Like
hang on. I'm going to go one better. I'm going to go one better than this. Once Thomas Tuchel steps down in 2 years' time after the Euros, what about this? Manager, Rio Ferdinand. Assistant manager, Prince Harry. Me and Ian, bibs and cones, doing the drills, doing the work. I honestly feel like the four of us could deliver England the World Cup.
Now tell me Harry is not entertaining. Tell me Harry is not smart. Tell me Harry is not the complete package, because he is. He is head, shoulders, knees, and toes above anything that is left over there across the pond when it comes to that family over there. Harry has always been the star and always will be the star of that family. Also, I want to talk about this. I think I've talked about it before, but he keeps doing it over and over and over again. And what I'm talking about is that pipsqueak, Jack Royston. He keeps writing these articles about the internet traffic for as ever. He keeps saying that the traffic going to as ever is getting less and less. He wrote this new article and it says Meghan Markle's as ever web traffic has been falling steadily in 2026. And this is about the second or third article he has written about this. And let me tell you, Squatty's absolutely doused him with gas and struck a match because they went in on him. This Squatty said, somebody please give this guy a lay. He's writing fiction about Meghan again. Give it a rest, Palace Rodent. Yes, I mean, this is about the second or third article he has written like this. I mean, what's your point? And I don't believe it. And this Squatty reposted that Squatty and said, the reason Jack is doing this week after week after week is that he's trying to paint a portrait of financial failure. Millions in debt, nothing they do works. So the only option they have is to publicly apologize for everything that they've said over the years and ask the royal family for forgiveness so they can rejoin as working royals where their lives will be paid for by the taxpayer and they never have to worry about trying to financially support themselves again. That is why Alison Boshoff constantly writes articles where she says as ever is doomed because her jam expired next week. They know Meghan has made bank off of the business. The more money she makes, the more financially secure they will be, which pushes them farther away from needing to rejoin the royals because they can't afford themselves. Exactly. They have been trying with this narrative forever to say that Meghan is not successful, that Harry is not successful, that they're broke, they're about to lose the house, and on and on and on. If Harry and Meghan really wanted money, they have equity in their home. They purchased that home at around $10 million. It is worth around $40 million today. Harry and Meghan has roughly about $30 million of equity built up in their home. And that is just one of their assets. So Harry and Meghan, they're good. And this Squatty posted the article from that pipsqueak Jack Royston talking about Meghan's business. and posted this one from Feminagra. It looks like the news organization that he works for, they're the real people in trouble. Feminagra wrote about it and said Newsweek down 77% traffic slump makes Jack Royston's Megan as ever obsession look rich. Yes, very rich. Because he was saying that as ever was down 77%. In actuality, he must have used the numbers for Newsweek instead. That so-called news organization that he works for is down 77%, which is very telling because Newsweek used to be one of the crown jewels of news magazines here in America. But now, since it was taken over, it is just a shell of what it used to be. Now, I think it's owned by a British citizen. Now, it's still considered an American news magazine, but it is ran by British citizens. If I'm not correct, put it in the comments, but I believe I had looked it up at one time and it was British owned, which is a huge tale, isn't it? And the squatty that posted this article from Feminagra said, looks like at Newsweek has bigger things to worry about than forensically analyzing traffic to Megan's website every week. Who the F even reads Newsweek other than the desperate royalists looking for the Harry and Meghan hate fix? Exactly. Because, like I said, it is just a shell of what it used to be. I mean, you couldn't go in a dentist's office, you couldn't go into any professional office here in America, and they did not have Newsweek there for you to read and peruse until you're called back to see your doctor. But that is no more. You go into a dentist's office or your physician's office, you don't see Newsweek. I don't think Newsweek even have hard copies anymore. I think it is strictly online. If I'm incorrect, put it in the comments. But I don't think they actually have a physical copy that goes out to people like it used to, like a subscription that used to come to your mailbox. I don't think that happens anymore. It is just a zombie of what it used to be. And here he is trying to start some kind of narrative about Megan's business when he is working for a zombie news organization that nobody reads. All I can say is good luck with that one. And this squatty posted this article calling Newsweek a zombie. It says Newsweek and the rise of the zombie magazines. That's who Jack Royston works for. He works for a zombie magazine. And he needs to know that. From this point on, every time I go in his comments, I am going to remind him that he works for a zombie magazine. And instead of worrying about what is going on with as ever, how much traffic is going to the website, he needs to be worrying about that zombie magazine and how much traffic is going to its website. He needs to stop worrying about the welfare of those left behinds over there, stop the bootlicking, and start worrying about his own job. He really needs to start doing some real journalism and bring in some real stories because there's plenty stories over there to be had about those left behinds. So you can bring in some views and some clicks and some money, because you really need to figure out how you can get this zombie publication that you work for to come back alive. And here's a hint. The story of the century is right there in your face. And that is, how did Kitty get that big scar upside her head when they say she was in the hospital for abdominal surgery? And here's another little story idea for you too. What about a man who sits in South Africa with his legs crossed, saying that his wife had precancerous cells, and then turn around and play the cancer card every chance they get? What about that story? Dig into that and stop being so fascinated with the finances of a couple who minds their business and pays their own way. So I don't understand this, but it definitely does not seem like you are trying to save your job. But I digress, y'all. And of course, squatters was tagging him upside his head. Yes, they were putting a tag on his name so he would hear everything that they said about him and Newsweek. And as you can see in this article, it says Newsweek, once one of America's most distinguished magazines, as a shell of its former self. All that was left was clickbait op-eds from the likes of Nigel Farage and Newt Gingrich, a general sense of drift. That's exactly what he works for. While he's worrying about Meghan, he should worry about that zombie magazine that he works for because his job could be gone tomorrow. And the squatty that posted this said, today is a good day to remind people at Jack Royston is working for a zombie publication. The Newsweek, that was once a respected publication, left this plane of existence over a decade ago. Heart and soul are gone, but the shell remains. Yes. So worry about what's going on in your neck of the woods. Yes, how much traffic is going to the Newsweek website, because at the end of the day, that's the one is going to affect your pockets, not as ever. Now I want to talk about this. This is bubbling up on these internet streets. Those flying monkeys are starting to say out loud, some of them, and some of them are starting to insinuate that maybe Meghan and the children never came to the UK because it is no visual evidence whatsoever. And one of the flying monkeys who is leading this charge is Tom Thumbhead Sykes. And this squatty said, Tom Sykes, the unroyal hack, says that because there is no pictures of the Duchess of Sussex and her children means they never came to the UK. Tom, what it means is that you and your fellow hacks could not and did not penetrate the well implemented ring of secrecy the visit pulled off. Get over your failure to get the pick of the year and quit your stupid lies. Yes, this is the lie they are starting to tell or insinuate, because it's really starting to sink in that they kind of miss the goose that lays the golden eggs. Yes, it's soaking in that Buckingham Palace kind of stitched them up and robbed them of the engagement, of the clicks and the views, but most of all, it robbed them of the money shot. Yes, nobody got the money shot. They would have made a mint on just one photo of Meghan and those children. And just think about a picture of Harry, Meghan, Charles, and his horse, and those children absolutely would have went for $1 million or more. And all that money would have belonged to the Rhoda. Yes, to the flying monkeys over there on Fleet Street. And now it's really, really soaking in that they have been robbed. They have been stitched up. And I love it. And I'll tell you, I am impressed and surprised that the circle of secrecy is holding as well as it is. Now, has it been a few leaks? It has, but nothing like I expected. I thought it was going to be article after article after article of nothing but leak after leak after leak coming from Buckingham Palace. But it hadn't been that way. A few leaks, but nothing like expected. And I think they are frustrated by that. And I think that Fleet Street, the light bulb over their head has started to flicker. And they have started to realize that, yeah, they got stitched up. And Zanny posted these two excerpts. I don't know where they're from, but one of them says, as if by magic, the prince popped in Manhattan alone, a portal hop that will fuel the conspiracies that Meghan never was in the UK at all. And this other one said, the elephant in the room is that not one photograph of Meghan or the children have surfaced from the trip, which has led some to question whether they came at all. And Zanny said, I am enjoying the tears and sour grapes. Toxic British media and the haters actually thought they could create maximum drama, endanger the lives of Meghan and the kids, and then turn around and make money off of their photos. Remember, this is what they did to Princess Diana. Exactly. And yeah, they are really starting to question their usefulness and why they even exist, because we all know they exist to try to make money off of Harry and Meghan. And this time it didn't work out for them. And so, yeah, I'm with Zanny. This is nothing but sour grapes, and I love it. Fill my cup up to the brim with the salty tears, please. I will drink them with pleasure. This squatty said, so funny watching the British media absolutely lose it trying to figure out how Prince Harry managed to move his family in total stealth mode during the recent UK trip. The irony of wanting to cash in on a family they fought so hard to strip protection from is wild. They wanted the circus, but Harry completely shut down the show. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm loving it. I love this. I love this so much, y'all. This squatty said Prince Harry, after successfully getting Meghan and the children in and out of the UK without a single picture taken by the media or anyone else, my guy saw how the rats were salivating at the prospect of making money off of his family. And he said, not on my watch, ho. I know that's right. Yes. I don't know how he did it, but he did that doggone thing. Did he not? He did that doggone thing. This squatty said, now the Huzzies are mad that Meghan hasn't been seen in a while. They thought she was going to be seen in the UK. No money for you. She wasn't with Harry last night. No money for you. She is definitely messing with their grip. It's the end of the month and their bill money is due. Yes, they are complaining to the Rangers and all. Why is she not with Harry? Why is it no pictures of her and the children in the UK? The conspiracy theories are at a fevered pitch, but I love it when Meghan starves them. I do. I miss seeing her, but I understand. Yes, I do. And this one is talking about how they didn't appreciate Meghan when they had her. They didn't. And now here they are, crying and wailing and rolling around on the floor, holding their stomach, talking about they don't believe she was in the UK because they got no pictures. They did not get the money shot. And so this squatty said, Megan Sussex, she walked into the royal family with a heart full of love for her new husband, Prince Harry, full of amazement of finally being a part of a large family full of cousins, aunts, uncles, and grandparents. She wanted a large family her whole life, but they only saw a biracial woman to copy, emulate, smear, and discard. Now their depravity and complete desperation has gone global. They have become a laughing stock they wanted her to be. Where is the lie? Where is it? And those flying monkeys over there, they are desperate, desperate for any crumb that falls off of Harry and Meghan's table, especially Meghan, because they know Meghan is that girl. They would not copy her so hard. And it's just not Kitty, it's all of them. They all copy Meghan. Meghan and Diana are the only modern day women to marry into that family, into that institution, shook it to its core and changed the people within it. You can say whatever you want to, but those two women made their mark on that institution. That institution will never be the same ever again. Not after Princess Diana, not after Princess Meghan Sussex. You can say what you want to, but the facts are the facts.
Cross-eyed there. Yeah. Cross-eyed there. Yeah.
Did you hear that? Oh, wow, wow. You know, Kate wished she could own a room like Meghan just owned that one.
I have arrived, and the spotlight is on me. Again.
Speaking of Kate, the numbers are in. Yes, the numbers are in on how much money she raised on her fake three-peat challenge. And Zanny Sussex, she wrote about it and she posted something that came out of the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail actually wrote a story about it. And as you can see, it says Kate chose to hide the exact amount, but the Daily Mail understands that it was in the region of $1,000 to $2,000.
Oh, damn.
And Zanny said, Kate, shameless me, 3 Peaks PR stunt raised at the most £2,000. What a joke. It was never about charity and very much about self-promotion. Shame on Kate for using the pain of people with real cancer for her own PR. And one thing we have learned about Kate and the rest of that family, they will use anybody. Anybody. Let's not forget all the people that they have used. They used that poor little girl who was dying of cancer. Kate put her face in front of her in order to take the picture. Yes, they found out she was dying and they saw an opportunity to use her, and use her they did. So never put anything past Kate and the rest of those people over there, those lizard people. Don't put anything past them because they will use a corpse if they really think that they could get something out of it, like positive PR. And this squatty posted the segment of the article from the Daily Fail that said Kate tried to hide how much money she had raised. It says Kate chose to hide the exact amount she managed to raise, but the Daily Mail understands it was in the region of £1,000 to £2,000. How pathetic. How very, very pathetic. You are the Princess of Wales. I'm sure Diana could have raised more than that. I know Meghan could have raised more than that. But here she is trying to hide the fact that she raised pretty much between 1,000 to 2,000 pounds. And they say it's all about the titles. Why in the world isn't her title helping her to be more successful at fundraising? I wonder why. And this is a repost, and Not My King is the one that posted that little segment of the article and said this: if this is true, Katie has to be one of the worst fundraisers the planet has ever seen. Her appeal on Insta reached 10.5 million people and raised 0.00019 from each and every one of them, which is less than a penny. Oh my God, she is pretty bad at it. And this squatter reposted Not My King and said, better stay at home and never come out again. Her Christmas carol didn't even reach the top 50. Kate Middleton is the most useless royal woman on earth. I'm telling you, she is absolutely mediocre. When we call her mediocre, this is what we're talking about. She can't do anything. She can't even copy Megan without coming off as mediocre at it. So, yeah, I agree with this squatty. She is useless. I mean, embarrassing, pathetic. I mean, absolutely sad. And I love this for her, mean girl. And this squatty right here has an answer to why Kate did not raise any money on that fake three-peat challenge. It says bots do not count when it comes to donations, and they do not count in the Christmas Carol viewership. Just like they want us to believe that Kensington Royal has 10.5 million followers. Yes, in their dreams, I would not be surprised if they did not pay millions a month for bots. It's no telling what the budget is over there at Kensington Palace for hate bots just to attack Harry and Meghan. And they also have to pay for the bots that prop them up. They're paying out a lot of money. Is that the reason why Kate is walking around with all that tartar on the inside of her teeth and her feet look like she has been walking on hot coals for most of her life? And her hands look like they don't know anything about lotion. She is so unmoisturized. And let's not forget what she has been up to lately. I mean, jamming her feet into shoes that are too little for her. Zanny Sussex even posted about it. Zanny said, why, oh, why is the Princess of Wales wearing shoes that are 5 sizes too small? Could it be they're spending all their money on bots and not on upkeep for her? Yes, it's no telling whose shoes those are. She maybe got them at the local Goodwill. I don't know. Yeah, I'm being messy now, but look at her feet. My feet are hurting just looking at her feet right now. So it could be that a lot of the money that they're getting, they are spending it in order to try to keep up with the Joneses, or should I say the Sussexes, by buying all these bots. This social media game that they're playing can get very, very expensive. And it might have gotten so expensive that the upkeep for the Princess of Wales, her budget has been cut. I'll put it that way. And Henry VIII, one of my favorite squatties, reposted this squattie's post and said, I'll say it again for the people in the back. Whenever there is an organic measurement of popularity, the royals come up short. The public doesn't donate, they don't tune in, and for the most part, they don't show up unless there is other attractions. Where is the lie? But yet and still, we're constantly getting these emotional support posts telling us that Kate and Willie are so popular. But this woman can't raise 2,000 pounds on a signature project. I mean, come on, let's get real. It makes no sense. Megan's cookbook, her Together cookbook, is still making money. But Kate cannot put together a fundraiser that makes over 2,000 pounds. Now let that soak in and let them try to sell us on the idea that this woman is the most popular royal. Yeah, right. This squatty said, huge congratulations to the three Kates that completed the 3P challenge and raising between 1,000 and 2,000 pounds for the Royal Marsden charity, as the Daily Fail understands. At Wilmington, the main Kate said she was just blown away by the donations. Like many amateur photographers, she does occasionally experiment. Yes, we know she will put out a Frankenstein picture in a minute. It says this time was an exaggeration. Is it any time the most popular role doesn't blow things out of proportion? Yes, she's always lying. Yes, it's not out of proportion. It's not blowing it out of proportion. It's lying. She is a liar. And this squatty posted this and said, get in there and make it all about you. And she's saying that this is Kate, and Kate makes everything about her. And where is the lie? She went on the post and said, why y'all surprised Kate Middleton's 3-peak challenge only raised 1,000 to 2,000 pounds? One, she has no fans, just broke Megan haters who leech off of Megan's content. Where's the lie in that? Number two, she's completely fake and performative. Everything is about a PR stunt. Nothing inspiring about her. Where is the lie? And really is absolutely the other side of the same coin when it comes to Kate. They are all fake and performative. They do nothing but lie. We have caught them in all of their performative lies time and time and time again. And we caught her in this one. The 3-peak challenge was nothing but a fake. It was a PR stunt. And this squatty posted Zanny Sussex post, the one that I featured in the beginning, and said this. She literally spent at least 50,000 pounds on photographers, videographers, and helicopter flights to raise 2,000 pounds, while she keeps 20 million Dutchy profits, sovereign grant cash in her family. But I don't believe that she has any control of that money. Willie has a firm hand on that. She has a budget. I am willing to bet you that he rules that budget with a iron fist. And I don't mean, I didn't mean that to say that he used that iron fist beside her head to make that scar. I didn't mean to say that. That wasn't what I was saying. I'm saying that he is very strict with her budget because we have seen some things that just doesn't make any sense for a wealthy woman. I believe Willie has control over her and her family because we all know those grifter Middletons, they don't have any money. They are absolutely, completely dependent on Willie. Yes, and so is she. That is the reason why no matter what goes down, Kitty is not going anywhere because at the end of the day, where's she going to go? And this squatty said, obviously, it never occurred to Kate that being the Princess of Wales required more than waving and cutting ribbons until Meghan came along. and started changing lives in the UK for the better. The Sun tried to give Kate the credit for Meghan's selling out of Vogue in 2018. Did they? I don't remember that. But I do know they did nothing but try to sabotage it. And Meghan sold out of Vogue. She sold out of her fashion capsule that she did for SmartWorks. She sold out of the Together cookbook. Everything was a sellout. And they knew right then and there. She was a force, she was, but they didn't know that she was a force that they could never, ever reckon with. They can't match Megan shine. And after 10 years of smearing her, she is still shining. And I agree with this, Squatty. It is very obvious that Kitty did not expect that she would have to be a woman of substance as she ascended to the title of Princess of Wales. Now, why she didn't know that, and the last Princess of Wales was Princess Diana, a woman of substance. Did she think that the world loved Princess Diana because she wore pretty clothes, that she was attractive? The world loved Princess Diana because she wore pretty clothes, she was attractive, and she was a woman of substance. She was someone who made people's lives better. She went out in the world and changed it. That is the reason why she was loved, because she loved people and she made a difference in their lives. That's why Princess Diana was loved. It is true she was beautiful and wore beautiful clothes, but it was a beautiful person, a beautiful spirit, a woman of substance inside of those clothes. And this squatty said, and this is why you shouldn't compare these two women. The two are not the same. Thanks to Hello Magazine for the insight reporting. How do you do it? Yes, as you can see, they praise Kate for walking in high heels across muddy grass. But when Megan got an Emmy nomination, they said, here's why Meghan Markle's Emmy nomination isn't really something to shout about. They wanted to shout about Kitty doing that fake the repeat challenge, but Meghan accomplishing something as big as an Emmy nomination, nothing to shout about there as far as they're concerned. Miss me, Hello Magazine. That's all I'm saying. But I agree with this squatty. Megan and Kitty should never be compared. Because how can you compare Kitty to Megan? You can't, because Kitty can't compete with Megan because she can't compare. It is not fair to her because at the end of the day, Kitty is mediocre and Megan is excellent. And I'm not just saying that to be mean. We have receipts. We have saw Kitty on the world stage trying to tie together two sentences to make it make sense. And she has failed miserably at it. And I have said this time and time again, Kitty already knows this. She knows that she cannot compete with Megan, although she tries, but she knows that the end results will be a fail because at the end of the day, she is not the original. She is the copy. And speaking of copy, I ran into this post from a squatty, and let me tell you, it knocked me for a loop. I love to find posts when squatties say something that I hadn't even thought of or imagined. I mean, this one right here is a banger. Listen to what this squatty said. Someone pointed out Kate's sequence of outfits in her 3 public appearances during the time when Harry and possibly Meghan would be visible in the UK to be blue, red, and a green cape dress. Now, think about that. Blue, red, and a green cape dress. Where have we saw that before? Could it be Meghan's last engagements as a working royal? You guessed right. Meghan should absolutely get Mariah Carey to sing that song to Kitty. Why are you so obsessed with me? Because can you believe this nonsense? This woman wore the same colors that Meghan wore on her last engagements as a working royal. Kitty wore blue, red, and a green cape dress. She did. She wore a blue pantsuit, a red dress, and a green cape dress. This woman wore the same colors, the suit in the same style. I mean, everything, just like Meghan on her last engagements as a working royal. I kid you not. I kid you not. Y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think about this nonsense. This squatty said Meghan's last three outfits for public engagements before she left the UK were blue, red, and a green cape dress. Kate Middleton is a psychopath. Where's the lie? This is how deep this obsession goes. I know y'all think that I get over my skis when I talk about this woman, that I say things like Harry and Meghan need to keep their head on a swivel because they'll end up in a blacked out panel van on the Santa Monica freeway while Kitty and Willie move into their Montecito home. Now, am I exaggerating a little bit on that? Yes. But what I said in my last podcast about these people coming to America, you think a woman this obsessed would not come to America? Do you think that a man that is so obsessed with Harry would not come to America? These people have a pattern. If you are a person who understands patterns, you know that these people are coming. Because look at this. This is psychotic. That's the only way you can put it. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'm not even going to ask y'all, am I over my skis on this one? Because I'm not over my skis. This woman is crazy. And now I want to change gears a little bit because the big story is this one in Stylecaster. And the title of the article is Angry Williams' Behavior Reportedly Tearing Kate Apart. A source claims she doesn't know what to do as her husband is consumed with bitterness. Now, who believes that? I do. I do. And anybody who has been paying attention believes it too. Yes, he is so bitter. He just regained his health. He was spiraling so bad that it was absolutely showing on the world stage. Anybody who was paying attention to Prince Sway Sway knows he was spiraling. He has just gotten a grip on himself to the point where he can perform and not look like he is totally falling apart and in shambles. But if he goes to a football match, you see right then and there, mentally, he is not where he needs to be. Zanny Sussex posted this and said, I believe Kate is just as evil as Willie, but I find it hilarious that they actually wrote, there's still a lot of work to do in trying to drill a bit of sense into Willie. William listens to Kate. She's probably the only person who can get through to him. She has managed to drill a bit of sense into him, but there's still a lot of work to do. Now, I did not read the article. I will go back and read the article. I just didn't have time, but I'm sure it is a very interesting read. Not a surprising read, an interesting read, because we have always known of Squatties that he is totally and completely a raging lunatic. How do we know this? Because we pay attention. And articles like this are not shockers to us, they're just receipts. And this squatty posted that same article and said they laughed at Prince Harry for going to therapy, but the heir could use a few years worth of long sessions. Where's the lie? Where is it? I mean, this man is absolutely raging, and that is not normal. It is not normal. From all the reports that we get, I mean, and we get them very often, that Willie cannot regulate his emotions. He can't. He is always raging. His staff is walking around on pins and needles. They can't bring up certain subjects or topics, or he blows his stack. You telling me that's normal? You telling me that's a person who doesn't need to indulge in some long session therapy? I'm just saying. And this squatty said, now there is concern with angry William's behavior. Didn't Camilla said the boy has a temper? Harry said he pushed him to the ground. Megan said he pointed his finger in her face. What really was the cause of Kate's abdominal surgery? What happened on December the 28th, 2023? Allegedly. And let's not forget that mystery scar upside of Kitty's head. When she disappeared on December 28th, 2023, she did not have that scar. When she reappeared at Trooping of the Color the very next year, all of a sudden she had a scar upside her head, and nobody is talking about it. And the flying monkeys are pretending like it's not there. It's not that they don't know about it, they're just pretending that it's not there, because squatties, every opportunity they get, they're in these flying monkeys' comments, posting pictures of that scar upside Kitty's head and encouraging them to talk about that instead of Meghan and Harry. And I also want to talk about this, how BuzzFeed came for Willie and his bullshit about him being nominated for an Emmy. And the bullshit of all those flying monkeys like GB News and People Magazine who bought into this nonsense. This is what BuzzFeed said. No, Prince William isn't nominated for an Emmy, but Meghan Markle is. This is so desperate and embarrassing for Willie. But what BuzzFeed doesn't understand is they are at a level of desperation over there at Kensington Palace that this kind of behavior is going to become the norm, because their two principals are so mediocre, so far behind, so subpar, that they have to resort to extreme measures to try to prop them up and try to give them some kind of footprint on the global stage. And it's no shame over there. That is their motto over there, I believe, at this point, that it's no shame in our game. We're going to go for it. And I'm saying it seems that that is what they are doing. And the squatty that posted this article from BuzzFeed said, no, Prince William isn't nominated for an Emmy, but Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is. This is so desperate and embarrassing for William. Clock that. Yes, clock that T. Exactly. Also, I want to say congratulations to Team Spain for winning the World Cup. Yes, ESPN said Spain are the World Cup champions for the second time. What a moment. What a team. Yes, congratulations, Spain. I know the king and queen of Spain, King Felipe and Queen Leticia, are so proud of Team Spain. Yes, I know they attended some of the matches, but you know who didn't attend some of the matches? I'll tell you who, and that would be Willie. And so many excuses are being made for him not attending. Yes, it is so many people carrying water for Willie. In my last podcast, I highlighted Hello Magazine saying that the reason that Willie didn't attend any of England's World Cup matches was because he didn't know how to behave. If he went to a football match, he is used to being rowdy and out of control like he has been when he goes on his private time. But we all proved that that was a lie because I posted pictures of him with George and Kate at a football match being very civil and very civilized, especially when he is handing out trophies on the football pitch. But yeah, that's the story they were peddling. Nobody was buying it now. But this is the story they peddled, that he did not know how to behave himself as the future king dumb as a rock at a football match with all of the eyes of the world upon him. Get out of here. But the next flying monkey up with a very farcical story, or should I say excuse, why Willie could not attend a single match for the English team, which he is the patron of. This is what Maureen Eden claimed. It says Richard Eden claimed Bullion did not attend any of the English matches in this year's World Cup because he needed to be with George as he prepared to attend Eden in September. He needed to be with George. George, who has tutors. George, who has nannies. George, whose mother is there with him. But Willie had to be there to tutor him. Get out of here. But this is so typical Willie. He puts everything on the children. Let's not forget when he refused to go to the women's match 2 years in a row and used Charlotte for that excuse. It says, what? In 2023, Bullion failed to support the women's team, but is an avid supporter and attended the Aston Villa. No questions by the media why the English team was unsupported by the Unroyals. The only person to speak on England's participation has been Prince Harry. What are we paying them for if they cannot support the national teams? There you go. Willie was not coming off of vacation. That is the reason why Charles is sick of his arse. All right, y'all. Y'all know I love to end on a positive note, so I am going to play this little clip because it is the best and it's so positive for our faves.
Royal Family Five-a-side team. Okay. I'm going to give you some selections. You're going to tell me who you're picking. Queen Elizabeth or King Charles?
Lizzie. Good defence.
Never puts foot wrong. Queen Camilla or Lady Di?
Lady Di. Youth on her side.
Literally, right? Prince Harry or William?
Harry. He's not giving up. Even if his family's against him, he's all out.
Kate or Meghan?
I'm a Kate guy at heart. Just personally, probably Meghan. She brings a little bit of North American athleticism.
Henry VIII or Queen Victoria?
Henry VIII, big lad, isn't he?
Get him in goal, right?
Get him in goal.
All right, thank you very much, yo. Enjoy the game, yeah?
And there you have it. These people are not popular. anytime you put it to the public, Harry, Meghan always comes out on top. And so does Lizzie, Queen Betty. All right, y'all. Y'all know I always enjoy my time with y'all. I will be back soon. If you want to support the channel, so many ways to do that. Look in my bio. I have Zelle, I have PayPal, and I have Buy Me a Coffee as well. You can look below, find the Super Thanks button, and click it, and you can support me that way. Also, if you want to be a part of the reading club, it should be a link right below, or if you're watching on television, click my picture and then click join. Also, if you want to support me somewhere else, you can go to patreon.com and support me over there. I have a reading club over there as well, or you could just join for free because I'm posting over there all the time and you'll get to see what your girl is up to. Also, if you haven't hyped your girl up this week, and it's Monday, so you got 3 new hypes if you have a hype button. So hype your girl up, hype this podcast up because it puts it in front of new eyes, and we absolutely need to do that because it helps our channel to grow. It helps our tribe to grow. And I really, really would appreciate it. So hype your girl up. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.